With so many great games available on the Nintendo Switch, in my opinion, some of the best value that you can get for your money is in the form of game compilations or collections where you get at least two games all in one package. So, the first Nintendo Switch game collection game that I'm going to talk about is the Disney Classics Game Collection. And you might think that you get three awesome games a part of this collection, but it actually does not stop there because you actually get all versions of Aladdin and the Jungle Book. And I have played two versions of the Aladdin game. I'm not sure if there's any more, but I know there's the Super Nintendo one where you kind of jump on enemies' heads in a 2D platformer. And there's the Sega Genesis version, which has a little more action because in that version you have a sword. But I'm more nostalgic for the Super Nintendo version because I grew up playing that game. And then as a part of this package, you also get The Lion King, which is another fantastic 2D platformer from the Super Nintendo era, and that game is just notorious for being really difficult, but it is a great game. And the one that I haven't played as a part of this collection is the Jungle Book. I need to try that one out. But for anyone who maybe has played the Jungle Book, the old school one in this collection, let me know because I'd like to know if you think it's a good game or not. The next game up on this list, I definitely cannot recommend enough, and that is Ori the Collection. These are two fantastic, amazing Metroidvanias that play great, sound great, and look great. The exploration in these games is great. The combat is great. The controls are silky smooth. And the presentation in these games is just top tier. The art style, the graphics, the sound, the voice acting, the music, everything in these games is just phenomenal. And I'm telling you, if you are interested in Metroidvania games at all, I think you definitely need to give these games a chance. And with two of these games all in one package for one great price, I just really can't recommend this enough. You can get this online for like 30 bucks right now. Definitely a must-own game for the Nintendo Switch. The next game is a great recommendation for all my JRPG fans out there. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. And in this package, you get two full-length JRPGs for one great price. You get Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. And these games look great, play great, great turn-based RPG combat. And for anyone who's maybe tired of the modern Pokemon games, maybe you might want to give this game a chance. You can get a physical copy of this for like 20 bucks right now. And I just looked, and digitally, you can get this for 10 bucks right now. So I'd say for the price that this game is going for, two games in one package, this is definitely a must-own JRPG collection for your Nintendo Switch. Street Fighter, the 30th Anniversary Collection, is definitely a must-own collection game if you're a fan of arcade fighting games. This package has 12 games, all on the cartridge, ready to go. And you might be thinking it's all Street Fighter, all kind of the same thing. Well, yes, they're all fighting games, but they all have their own unique mechanics. And some of these games also have different rosters and everything like that. So at the price that this game goes for right now, you can snag a physical copy for like 20 bucks. This is definitely a must own of a bunch of arcade fighting game classics. No brainer. Another must own JRPG collection game is the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. In this package, you get 10 different games. And the premise of these games is that you collect these chips, which give you different moves and abilities to use in awesome turn-based RPG combat. This is definitely a must-own. This game sometimes has been kind of harder to find, a little bit on the rare side. Could be expensive further down the line as well, so I would recommend if you're interested in this game collection, definitely pick this one up for the Nintendo Switch. My copy's still sealed because I haven't played it yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about these games. These are classic turn-based RPGs from the Game Boy Advance era, and I grew up with the Game Boy Advance, so I love the games from that era, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing this collection. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp is a must play, must own game for all my strategy game fans out there. If you like classic Fire Emblem strategy RPG combat, you will definitely like this game. Now, this game doesn't have the RPG elements. It just kind of puts you straight into the battle. You hear a little bit of dialogue and ride along with the story as it goes. But this one is just really about getting straight into that good strategy gameplay. The maps in this game are great. The different units that you can use are great. The CO abilities, everything about this game is phenomenal. I like the music. The art style's cool. And with 2 games all in one package, plenty of value for your money here. I also talked about this game recently in my 7 underrated Nintendo Switch games video because this game is just super underrated, doesn't get talked about enough. And if you're a fan of strategy RPGs or strategy games, this is a must own in my opinion. The Oddworld Collection for the Nintendo Switch features 3 classic platformers all in one package, all on the cartridge. I believe there is a small update for one of these games, but other than that, it's all fully playable off of the cartridge. And in this package, you get Abe's Odyssey, New and Tasty, Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath HD. And these games are all platformers, but Stranger's Wrath HD actually features some first-person shooter mechanics mixed in. So if you're a fan of nostalgic platformers from the Xbox, PS2, GameCube era, I definitely recommend picking this collection up. And these games were, as I believe, originally exclusive to the Xbox, but now you can play them all portably for the Nintendo Switch. Next up on the list here, we have Castlevania Advance Collection, and the physical was made by Limited Run Games, which it's in the name of the company, Limited Run. So if you're interested in this copy, I would definitely recommend picking it up sooner than later, but I have seen the digital version go on sale quite often and for quite cheap, so that is another great option. I'm not totally against digital games, even though I am a physical collector mainly myself here. But this package features 4 classic Castlevania games with Curse of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X, all playable on the cartridge. Definitely a must-own collection title for your Nintendo Switch. Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series is definitely a must-own collection of 2 classic 2D platformers. Well, technically 2.5D. There are some different camera angle switches and some levels where you see straight ahead, but these games are great, really colorful, have a lot of charm to them. Kind of reminds me of the Kirby series a little bit actually, and you can get this physical copy for around 30 to 40 bucks. But here in the US, you will have to import this game as we didn't get the physical release here. Why that is, I don't know. I think that was a pretty stupid choice by Bandai Namco, but good thing it's not too hard to import games these days, and you can still do so for a reasonable price. I believe this does go on sale digitally for cheaper than the physical copy goes for as well. So definitely keep your eye on this if you're into classic 2D nostalgic platformers. The Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy is definitely a must-own collection of 3 Ace Attorney games, and these games are interactive visual novels where you play as an attorney and you must prove your client's innocence by presenting evidence, clues, gathering information, getting the truth out of the liars to protect your innocent clients. And these games are definitely great. The Ace Attorney series is definitely awesome. So for anyone looking to get into kind of a point-and-click visual novel style game, I highly recommend this collection. Another reason why I would also recommend this collection is because it is kind of on the rare side, and I could see this becoming a Nintendo Switch game that could get a bit more pricey further down the line. They also didn't get a physical copy of this in Europe, so they might be trying to import this North American version, which could definitely make it even more rare and expensive further down the line. So I do have a part 1 of this video series, and I'll put the link to that in the description and put it up on the end screen. But thank you all so much for watching. Until the next video, peace.